Hi friends, I am Sri Priya. Welcome to my channel Bharat Kathas. This story, 3000 Stitches, is real fight of Sudha against devadasi system. Let us know what devadasi system is, what are the hurdles she faced in this process, and what was the outcome. Infosys Foundation was set up in 1996 to provide aid to common man, regardless of caste, creed, language or religion. While thinking about the first project of Infosys Foundation, Devadasi tradition, which was pervasive throughout India, struck the author's mind. The word Devadasi means servants of the Lord. Traditionally, Devadasis were musicians and dancers who practiced their craft in temples to please the gods. They had a high status in the society. As the time went by, temples were destroyed and tradition of Devadasis fell into wrong hands. Initially, young girls were dedicated to worship and service of the deity in good faith, but eventually the word became synonymous with sex worker. Some girls who caught a hair infection like a ringworm of the scalp assumed to be a indicative to be a devadasi. The author chose a place in North Karnataka where devadasi system was rampant. On the first day, she approached a group of devadasis with notebook and pen and asked them to tell their problems. The devadasis did not wish to talk to her, but she persisted and said, "I want to help you. Please listen to me. Are you aware of dangerous illness called AIDS that you could be exposed to?" Then one of them snapped at her and other one threw a chappal at her and asked her to leave at once. Insulted and humiliated, the author turned back and reached home. She told to herself, "I won't go there again." However, after a week, she went there. The author approached them and told them, "I have come to meet you again. Please hear me out. I really want to help you." They laughed at her and said, "We don't need your help. Our goddess will help us in difficult times." The author stood dumbfounded, struggling to find words. The woman threw tomatoes at the author. The author thought, "Why should I work on this project? Why do they keep insulting me?" The author decided to resign and go back to her academic career. The author's father observed her writing frantically and asked her what she was writing. The author narrated the entire episode to him. To her amazement, her father said, "I did not know that you are so impractical." After a few minutes, he said, "Please remember, prostitution has existed in our society since ancient times. Many kings, saints have tried to eliminate it, but no law or punishment has been successful in bringing it down to zero. You are just an ordinary woman. What you should do is to reduce your expectations and lower your goals. For instance, try to help 10 devadasis leave their profession, rehabilitate them and show them what it means to lead a normal life. This will guarantee that their children will not follow their footsteps. Make that your aim, and the day you accomplish it, I will feel very proud knowing that I gave birth to a daughter who helped 10 helpless women make most difficult transition from being sex workers to an independent woman." On her next visit, the author went with her father. Upon seeing her aged father, the Devadasi woman said namaste. Her father introduced the author as teacher and said, "I told her how difficult your lives are. Your children are the real reason for your existence and you want to educate them irrespective of what happens to your health. Am I right?" They replied in unison, "Yes, sir." Since my daughter is teacher, she can guide you with your children's education and help them find better jobs. She will give you information about scholarships so that your financial burden may be reduced. Is that okay with you? If not, it's alright. She will go to some other village and try to help the people there. The woman agreed. So the author started working with their children and helped them with the promised scholarships. Only after this happened, the author brought the subject of AIDS, and this time they heard her out. Devadasi woman fondly called her Akka and trusted her so much that they shared all their touching stories. Every story was different, but the end was same. They all suffered at the hands of society that exploited them and filled them with guilt and shame as final result. After listening all this, the author realized that simply donating money would not build their self-esteem. She thought of uniting them towards a common goal and helping them build their own organization. Abhay Kumar, kind-hearted young man, joined her in this project. Hundreds of children were enrolled in the foundation's project. Some went to do professional courses while others went to complete their primary and secondary education. They also held camps on AIDS awareness, prevention, and sponsored street arts and plays to educate women and children on various medical issues, including the simple fact that infected hair is not an indication that one must become devadasi. Rather, it is a simple curable disease. The author was able to get them loans by becoming their guarantor. On other hand, life became more dangerous for Abhay and the author. They received death threats from pimps and local goons. A few weeks later, some pimps threw acid on 3 Devadasi women who had left their profession. The plastic surgery the victims underwent helped them to bring back their confidence. The real strength came from the women who collectively stood up to leave this hated profession. Many women started rearing goats, cows, buffaloes. Over time, the author's foundation established schools that offered night classes which Devadasis could attend. After 12 long years, some women approached the author Sudha and told their idea of setting a bank on their own. Abhay and the author explained them basics of banking, and a few professionals guided them to set up a bank of their own. The bank employees and shareholders are strictly restricted to Devadasi community. So finally, the women were able to save money through fixed deposits and obtain low interest loans. All the profits had to be shared with bank members. Eventually, the bank grew and women themselves became its directors and took over its running. In less than 3 years, bank had 80 lakhs in deposits and provided employment to former Devadasis. Its most important achievement was that almost 3,000 women were out of Devadasi system. On their 3rd anniversary, the author received a letter from the bank. It said, "We are happy to share that 3 years have passed since the bank was started. Now the bank is of sound financial health and none of us practice or make money through the Devadasi tradition. We have saved 3 lakhs for this celebration. Our money has been earned legally, ethically and morally. Please come and join us for our big day." Tears welled up in author's eyes on reading this letter. On the day of function, there were no politicians. It was a simple event. At first, some women sang a song of agony written by Devadasis. Then another group came and described their journey to independence. Their children, many of whom had become doctors, nurses, clerks, teachers, lawyers thanked their mothers and the organization for supporting their education. Now it's Sudhamurthy's turn to speak. For the first time in life, she thought, the day I meet God, I will be able to stand up straight and say confidently, you have given me a lot in this lifetime, and I hope that I have returned at least something. I have served 3,000 of your children in the best way I could, relieving them out of the meaningless and cruel devadasi system. Your children are flowers, and I am returning them to you. Then the author's eyes fell on the women who were eager to listen to her. She quoted the Sanskrit sloka her grandfather taught her. Oh God, I don't need a kingdom, nor do I desire to be an emperor. I don't want rebirth or golden vessels or heaven. I don't need anything from you. O Lord, if you want to give me something, then give me a soft heart, hard hands, so that I can weep the tears of others. The author returned back to the chair. An old devadasi climbed up onto the stage and said, we want to give our beloved Akka Sudhamurthy a special gift. It is a bed sheet. Each of us has stitched some portion of it. So there are 3,000 stitches. She looked at Sudhamurthy and said, this is from our hearts to yours. This will keep you cool in summer and warm in winter, just like our affection towards you. You were there by our side during our difficult times. We want to be with you too. It is the best gift I have ever received, said Sudhamurthy. Thank you.